Melania Trump, born April 26, 1970 in Novo Mesto, Slovenia, is one of the most prominent figures on the world stage, not only as the First Lady of the United States during her husband Donald Trump's 2 terms, but also as a symbol of resilience, perseverance, and refined style. Originally known by her birth name Melania Knavs, she grew up in a small town in Sevnica, Slovenia, then part of Yugoslavia, a country ruled by the communist regime. From her humble days in an apartment on the Sava River, Melania overcame the limitations of her circumstances to become an international model, a businesswoman, and a woman with great influence on the global political scene. Her life is a story of dramatic transformation, from a small-town girl to the bright lights of New York and the White House. Melania grew up in a modest working-class family. Her father, Victor Knavs, was a car salesman, while her mother, Amalia, worked in the textile industry, working as a pattern cutter in a children's clothing factory. Despite their limited means, the Knavs family encouraged their children to pursue their dreams and work hard. From a young age, Melania showed diligence and discipline. She was an excellent student, always willing to help her friends, and was remembered by her teachers as a calm, polite, and determined girl. It was these qualities that led her to the fashion industry, where she began her modeling career at the age of 16, opening doors to fashion capitals such as Milan, Paris, and eventually New York. In 1996, Melania moved to New York, where she quickly made a name for herself in the fashion industry, with shoots for prestigious magazines such as Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, and Sports Illustrated. Her modeling career not only brought her fame, but also launched her to meet Donald Trump, the man who would become her husband in 2005. This marriage propelled Melania into the global spotlight, from a model to the role of First Lady of the United States for 2 terms, from 2017 to 2021 and from 2025 onwards. As the mother of Baron Trump, her only child with Donald, Melania has always put her role as a mother first, while constantly striving to leave her own mark through social initiatives and charity work. Melania is not only a fashion icon with an elegant style, but also a strong woman who knows how to maintain privacy in a world full of the spotlight. She is the first First Lady to become a naturalized citizen of the United States, and the second to be born abroad after Louisa Adams. Her presence in American politics has brought pride to Slovenia, turning her hometown of Sevnica into a small but significant tourist destination. With her determination and independent spirit, Melania Trump has shaped her image not only as the wife of a president, but also as an influential individual, a devoted mother, and a social activist with remarkable efforts. In Melania Trump's tumultuous life journey, the greatest sadness is probably the pressure and loneliness she has faced while living under the spotlight of politics and constant public scrutiny. As First Lady, Melania has not only had to face controversies related to her husband's political decisions, but also endured personal criticism, from the way she dresses, the way she speaks, to her choices in public roles. These pressures, combined with her separation from her family and her native Slovenia, created a deep sense of isolation, which she rarely spoke about publicly, but which was palpable in her silence in the face of media controversy. One of the most heartbreaking moments in Melania's life was the scandal surrounding her speech at the 2016 Republican National Convention. The speech, which was supposed to mark her strong political presence, became the focus of criticism when it was discovered that it contained similarities to a speech given by former First Lady Michelle Obama in 2008. The incident not only exposed her to public ridicule, but also deeply damaged her self-esteem. Melania, who had always focused on image perfection, felt that she had failed to live up to the expectations of her husband and his campaign team. She shared in her memoir that that period was a challenging one, when she faced doubts about her abilities and felt like the whole world was judging her. In addition, the controversies surrounding Donald Trump's personal life, especially the accusation of an affair with adult film star Stormy Daniels in 2006, just months after Melania gave birth to her son Barron, left a deep wound in her heart. Although she always maintained a calm appearance and did not publicly comment on the incident, Melania chose to withdraw from the spotlight for a while, canceling several joint events with her husband and focusing on her role as a mother. Her silence during this period was not a sign of weakness, but rather a way for her to protect herself and her family from personal trauma. This sadness came not only from the accusations about her husband, but also from the pressure to maintain a perfect family image in public, while her heart suffered silently. Melania's sadness was also amplified by the geographical and emotional distance from her native Slovenia. Although she was proud of her roots, she rarely had the opportunity to return to Sevnica to reunite with her family and childhood friends. This distance, combined with having to adapt to a new culture and the pressures of being First Lady, left her sometimes feeling out of place in the world she had tried so hard to fit into. These sorrows, although not expressed publicly, shaped Melania into a resilient yet vulnerable woman who always tried to balance her responsibilities with her personal feelings. Melania Trump's career journey is a story of determination, transformation, and overcoming obstacles to achieve success in a competitive world. From her early days in Slovenia, when she was a young girl with big dreams, Melania showed an early passion for fashion and art. At the age of 16, she began her modeling career in Slovenia, appearing in local fashion catalogs and quickly gaining attention for her elegant beauty and confident demeanor. The decision to leave her home country to pursue a career in fashion capitals like Milan and Paris was a major turning point, requiring her to overcome language and cultural barriers, and the loneliness of living far from her family. In Milan and Paris, Melania, then using the stage name Melania Knauss, worked with a number of famous photographers and designers, appearing in advertising campaigns and fashion magazines. Despite her successes, she also faced setbacks, such as rejections at castings and fierce competition in the fashion industry. These moments, though difficult, forged Melania's will, taught her patience, and helped her to constantly improve herself. In 1996, when she moved to New York, she continued her journey under the auspices of Paolo Zampoli, a model agent who helped her obtain a work visa to the United States. There, she made great strides, appearing on the covers of magazines such as Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, and Sports Illustrated, most notably in the famous swimsuit issue in 2000. In addition to her modeling career, Melania also tried her hand at business. She launched the Melania Trump timepieces and jewelry line in 2010, which was sold on QVC, and later developed a caviar-based skincare line. These projects, while not as successful as her modeling career, demonstrated Melania's can-do spirit and desire to build her personal brand. However, not all her efforts were smooth sailing. Her skincare line struggled to compete in the marketplace, and several other business ventures failed to gain the traction she had hoped for. These setbacks, while disappointing, motivated her to continue to seek new opportunities, from philanthropy to the role of First Lady. When Melania became First Lady of the United States in 2017, she brought a fresh perspective to the role. She launched the Be Best campaign in 2018, focusing on three main pillars: children's health and well-being, online safety, and opioid abuse prevention. The campaign, while well-received, also faced criticism, particularly as she was perceived to have a lack of public visibility compared to previous First Ladies. One of the moments that Melania cried, though not publicly, was when she witnessed harsh criticism of the Be Best campaign, especially accusations that it lacked depth or was out of step with her husband's political background. These pressures, combined with the responsibility to maintain a perfect public image, led to emotional moments when she wondered if she was really making a difference. Despite the challenges, Melania has continued to make strides to prove her worth. She has made numerous visits to children's hospitals, schools, and military installations, both domestically and internationally, to listen and support those in need. The moments she spent with children, especially during her solo trip to Africa in 2018, have brought her joy and motivation to continue. Although she sometimes felt misunderstood, Melania has persevered, using her family and her mission as a source of strength to overcome the difficulties of her career. Melania Trump's greatest success in life lies not only in her modeling career or her role as First Lady, but also in her ability to transform herself from a girl from a small town in Slovenia into a global icon, recognized by the whole world. One of the high points of Melania's career, Jacqueline System. Melania's career was her appearance on the cover of Vogue magazine in 2005, wearing a wedding dress worth hundreds of thousands of dollars just days before her marriage to Donald Trump. This image not only marked a milestone in her modeling career, but also affirmed her status as a fashion icon, with her elegant and sophisticated style. The event was not only a personal success, but also a testament to her ability to overcome the limitations of an immigrant to become the center of attention in the upper class. Her role as First Lady of the United States for 2 terms, from 2017 to 2021 and from 2025, was a distinct success, giving Melania the opportunity to leave her mark on history. The controversial Be Best campaign showcased her vision for improving the lives of children through health promotion, online safety, and drug abuse prevention. Her 2018 solo trip to Africa, where she visited hospitals and schools in Ghana, Kenya, Malawi, and Egypt, was praised for her sincerity and efforts to connect with international communities. These activities not only reinforced Melania's image as a dedicated First Lady, but also brought pride to her native Slovenia, where she was seen as a symbol of success. The publication of her memoir, Melania, in 2024, which became a #1 New York Times bestseller, was another milestone. The book not only chronicled her journey from Slovenia to the White House, but also revealed her deep thoughts on life, family, and public duty. The success of the book demonstrates Melania's ability to connect with readers around the world, sharing her story with honesty and humility. Melania's success also lies in her role as a mother, as she prioritizes raising her son Baron, protecting him from the spotlight, and giving him as normal a life as possible. This dedication, while not much noticed by the media, is a deeply personal achievement, demonstrating her love and responsibility for her family. Despite her many successes, Melania Trump has also faced many failures and challenges in her career, from her early days as a model to her role as First Lady. In the fashion industry, one of the biggest challenges is the fierce competition and pressure to maintain a perfect appearance. As an immigrant model, Melania faced prejudices about her background, along with language barriers while working in Milan, Paris, and New York. There were times when she was rejected from auditions, forcing her to work harder to prove her worth. These failures, though not publicized, were part of her journey to hone her will. As First Lady, Melania faced greater challenges. The 2016 Republican Convention speech scandal was one of her most notable public failures. The speech was found to contain similarities to Michelle Obama's, making her the focus of criticism, damaging the image she had carefully crafted. Although a member of her campaign team took responsibility, Melania felt like a failure for not being able to meet the expectations of the public and her husband's team. The moment caused her to withdraw from public events for a while, focusing on her mental recovery and regaining her confidence. Another challenge was the criticism surrounding the Be Best campaign. While the campaign was built with noble intentions, some felt it lacked depth or was out of step with the political context of the Trump administration. In particular, the online safety pillar was seen as at odds with Donald Trump's controversial social media statements. These criticisms left Melania feeling misunderstood when she was really trying to make a positive difference for children. She shared in her memoir that these criticisms sometimes made her doubt her abilities, but she persevered, believing that her mission was worthwhile. Personal issues, such as Donald Trump's alleged infidelity, also posed a major challenge in Melania's public career. The Stormy Daniels affair, along with other allegations, put her in a difficult position, having to maintain her family's public image while dealing with personal trauma. Her cancellation of several public events with her husband and her silence during this period show her inner struggles, as she tried to balance her public responsibilities with her private emotions. These challenges, though painful, helped Melania grow as a person. She learned to face criticism, defend her values, and keep moving forward, despite the thorny road ahead. This resilience is an important part of her story, proving that failure is not a stopping point, but an opportunity to grow. Melania Trump has always strived to achieve achievements that not only bring her fame, but also demonstrate her personal values and mission. One of her greatest achievements has been to build an independent image, separate from the shadow of Donald Trump. Despite being the wife of one of the most controversial figures in the world, Melania has tried to make her own mark through her fashion style, social initiatives, and motherhood. Her style, considered elegant and sophisticated, has become iconic, with her outfits widely noticed at international events and at the White House. Her appearance on the cover of Vogue in her wedding dress in 2005 is a testament to her efforts to become a global fashion icon. The Be Best campaign is a passion of Melania's. Launched in 2018, the campaign focuses on 3 areas: children's physical and mental health, online safety, and opioid abuse prevention. Despite criticism, Melania has persisted in promoting the campaign through visits to hospitals, schools, and charities around the world. A highlight was her trip to Africa in 2018, when she directly participated in activities to support children, from visiting hospitals in Ghana to talking to students in Kenya. These efforts not only brought her recognition, but also demonstrated her commitment to improving the lives of children, a mission she has always held at the forefront. Becoming the first First Lady to be a naturalized citizen of the United States was a historic achievement. Melania used her immigration story as an inspiration, proving that someone from a small town in Slovenia could reach the pinnacle of American society. She also worked to bring pride to her hometown, as Sevnica became a tourist destination thanks to her fame. Products such as Melania-branded honey and sausages in Sevnica are a testament to her influence on her hometown community. Her 2024 memoir, Melania, was another major achievement, where she shared her life story with honesty and depth. Not only did the book reach #1 on the bestseller list, it also helped her connect with a global audience, providing a deeper insight into who she really is, beyond the cold image of a First Lady that the media often portrays. Melania also works hard in charitable causes, such as her role as a Goodwill Ambassador for the American Red Cross and the Fostering the Future program, which provides scholarships to children in the foster care system. These achievements did not come easily. Melania had to overcome prejudices about her background, criticism of her public role, and the pressures of life in the spotlight. Her perseverance and determination in pursuing these goals proved that she was not just the wife of a president, but an individual with her own power and influence. Melania Trump's love journey is a colorful story, filled with joys mixed with challenges and deeply emotional moments. Married to Donald Trump in 2005, Melania entered a life in the spotlight, where her love was not only a personal matter, but also the focus of global public attention. Meeting in 1998 at a fashion party in New York, Melania and Donald were quickly attracted to each other, despite their completely different backgrounds and circumstances. Melania, a Slovenian model with a calm and sophisticated demeanor, was drawn to the confidence and explosive energy of Donald, a successful businessman and famous television personality. Their relationship, although it began as a romantic affair, faced many challenges, from personality differences to media storms. Melania and Donald's wedding, held at the Mar-a-Lago resort in Palm Beach, Florida, was a lavish affair, with Melania wearing a Christian Dior wedding dress worth hundreds of thousands of dollars and photographed for the cover of Vogue magazine. The moment was not only the pinnacle of Melania's fashion career, but also symbolized the beginning of a new chapter in her life. However, their marriage was not always a bed of roses. The early years of their marriage, especially after Melania gave birth to their son Baron in 2006, brought great joy but also challenges. Just months after Baron was born, allegations of Donald's affair with adult film star Stormy Daniels broke out, leaving Melania facing deep personal trauma. Although she chose to remain silent and not comment publicly, her withdrawal from some public events with her husband during this time revealed the wounds she had suffered in silence. Melania shared in her memoir that her love for Donald was not only based on romance, but also on mutual respect and commitment to building a family. She described Donald as an energetic husband who always encouraged her to pursue her passions, from fashion to social initiatives. However, she also admitted that their marriage required patience and understanding, especially when both lived under the pressure of fame. There were moments when she cried, not out of weakness, but because she felt overwhelmed by public controversy and constant media scrutiny. Once, after a long day of facing negative press, Melania sat alone in her private room at the White House, looking out at the Rose Garden, and wondered if she had the strength to continue. Motherhood gave Melania a new source of inspiration and strength. She devoted much of her time to raising Baron, shielding him from the public eye, and providing him with a stable environment despite the turmoil in her family's life. The moments she spent with Baron, from taking him to school to talking about his dreams and future, were the moments she felt happiest. Her love for her family, despite the challenges, became the guiding light that helped her overcome difficult times and maintain steadfastness in her marriage. Melania's emotional journey is a story of balancing responsibility and personal feelings. Despite the storms she faced, from accusations about her husband to the pressures of being First Lady, she learned to keep her heart steady, find joy in simple moments with her family, and continue to move forward with grace and resilience. Melania Trump's family, especially her parents, Victor and Melanija Knavs, and her son Baron and husband Donald, have played a key role in helping her navigate the deep sadness of her life. Growing up in a working-class family in Sevnica, Slovenia, Melania was raised with unconditional love and support from her parents. When she moved to the United States and became First Lady, her family remained her biggest support, even though the distance meant they could not be together often. The family's perspective on Melania's sadness, from public controversies to personal traumas, reflects understanding, compassion, and faith in her strength. Melania's parents, who immigrated to the United States from Slovenia to be close to their daughter, have always been proud of her journey, but also aware of the pressures she has endured. When the 2016 Republican convention speech scandal broke, it was her mother, Amalia, who called to comfort Melania, reminding her that she didn't need to prove her worth to anyone but herself. Amalia, with her textile industry background and motherly fortitude, understood that public criticism was part of life in the spotlight, but she always encouraged Melania to stay confident. Her father, Victor, a quiet but affectionate man, often sent short but meaningful messages, reminding her of the simpler days in Sevnica, where she had been a young girl with dreams. This support, though unobtrusive, helped Melania feel that she was never alone. Donald Trump, controversial as he was, also played a key role in helping Melania cope with her sadness. During difficult times, such as when allegations of an affair with Stormy Daniels rocked their lives, Donald tried to shield Melania from the media, although his efforts were sometimes overshadowed by his public statements. He once shared in an interview that Melania was a strong person, and he admired the way she handled criticism without letting it define her. While their relationship was not without its tensions, Donald always tried to show support, especially when Melania decided to step back from public events to focus on her mental health and family. Melania's son, Barron, despite his young age, has also been her biggest source of comfort. During difficult times, such as when she faced negative press or the pressures of being First Lady, Barron was often the one to make her smile. The evenings she spends chatting with Barron, helping him with his homework, or sharing stories about her native Slovenia, are moments that help